Yes, I will describe myself as a survivor because of the trauma, because of the tormenting, because of the physical, the mental, the spiritual, and emotional things that I've went through. I will say I am a great survivor because looking at me right now to where I am today, I was not this way before. So I am a survivor to how I was before. I could have been a dead woman, but I am not. So I am a survivor. So I have been encountering mentally, physically traumas since I've been home. I've been told that I'm nothing, I will resolve to nothing. I kept thinking that way about myself. I was so afraid to go to my dad to talk or my mom to talk. Every time he would keep abusing mommy because he was seeing someone else. And in this abuse now, there was a time he was beating mommy so badly. And when he took the pot spoon and I tried to part them from the fight, he took the pot spoon and started to beat me. I encountered where I had to take 18 stitches. My mother and myself ran out of the house just as we was to reach to my aunt's place, but she came and picked us up because we stayed by a neighbor. We stayed there for about a couple of days and then came back home, and it did not solve the problem because it was still there. I still was getting abused. I still could not finish my schooling, and while the abuse was going on, many times I'd be screaming and bawling. No one will come to help me. No one will come to assist me. No one will come to see what's happening. Is what I give in a neighborhood, and nobody wants to help you. You'll be hearing something happening in the home, but instead of calling a hotline or calling the police or something, they would not do it. So I never got to finish my schooling because Dad used to beat me so much in my head. He would take my hair and he would palm it up on the wall. He would beat me like if, I was like, Lips was out of style. So I went into the gentleman's home, which I knew him from being in church. It's like if he was a stranger to me. But I did not know anything about the sexual part and had the knowledge about it, was being, taught about it. Use condom, do this, protect yourself. So at the first time he had encounter with me, I didn't know I was pregnant until afterwards I found that I was pregnant. That was double licks now, and my father put me out of the home, and the judgment had to get married to me. You think, okay, you've seen it from TV, you've seen it from television, everybody is a fantasy, you want to see your husband hugging you up, things going nice. It was not that way for me. On the first night, I got a cuff in my face. From them, and then it continued because I was young, he was also young too, but just a little 5 years older than me. So other women started to come into the picture, and by the woman coming into the picture, I was being more abused now. Even though I had my first son, I was mentally, physically, and emotionally, spiritually abused by my mind. I was able to get help. That I went to the police station and got help. I've made reports and I couldn't take it anymore. Even though that, my son was very small. We were living in this little house and he was small. I still tried to go to get help in every way I can. There was a time when he was beating me with a cutlass. I ran down half naked in the road because he was beating me so badly and I was pregnant. Because he bought the woman right in the house where we are living, now matrimonial home. And instead of he telling her to leave, I was the one getting the licks as his wife. So I've been encountering that over and over. Eventually I went to get the help, and the help that I got was at council, but I went to this police station. They came and they was able to get him out, and because he was the one working, I wasn't working, I had to be on my own. From there, then I decided to start to do things on my own at a young age, where I started to sell little soccer bags and other little things to make, to make money. I started off by staying by myself to heal, and by doing the healing process, going through the healing process, I started to work. I got another job which I love, and it's my personality, it fits my personality, my description of myself, which is hospitality. I got into it. I've been in it for years, been in the hospitality industry. I was able to help myself. I was able to help my family, my kids, and that was a great big help to me. This person, I was working with him, and by working with him for a couple of years, and we dated once or twice, we dated and go along. I thought mainly like, okay, I finally meet the person for me now, after I settled down staying for so long. But it was so wonderful. The words you want to hear, the attention you need to feel as a woman. We were doing things together. Actually, I was the one bringing up most of the ideas, to open business, because I have a business head. So I always wanted to open a business. So in doing that, we were actually connecting. We were actually having the same level of thinking. So I thought, and then most of all, I'm very spiritual, because I grew up in a spiritual home background, being a Christian. So being that way, my personality now fit where he was being taught spiritually, where we work together as a team. So I was able to pray, have my devotions, do everything mentally, physically, for us to be having this relationship. Finally, we got married. When we got married, it was even a good 8 months. And there it was. It started again. I was mentally tormented. I was physically tormented. I was emotionally tormented, and even spiritually tormented too. Because just to have me under his control, he went as far as doing spiritual things to have me, and I was unaware of it. And tormented me so badly that never wanted me to go anywhere, just wanted me to be like a picture frame. I used to accomplish a lot in my workplace. I encountered that he was jealous of my achievements, because the type of abuse was worse than by my father and my mother, because he stand up on my foot with his construction boots and said, "I will end you." He took pineapple, scrape on my face and say, nobody else will never watch you. If I can't have you, nobody else will have you. And I endure licks, and he will make himself look like the victim, when I would be the one, and I stayed silent because I couldn't turn to nobody to talk to. My family, no one. I couldn't go to anybody to talk to. Most I could do is make reports, where I have reports all over in different stations. That's the best I did. But every time they go to find him, they can't find him because he was run. But I didn't have a job then, because I was no longer in my job for so many years. So he was the breadwinner of the home now. So I have to stay back and wait to see what is going to happen. So he beat me. It's like, then he used to drink puncheon and smoke weed. So that and all, and then his friends telling him, "What you doing with this girl? You could do better." And taking advice from people. He would come home during the punching and just look at me, and I was like the punching bag. And I would eat licks, and beat me, strangle me, choke me, scrape up my face, hung up my head on the wall, just like what Daddy used to do. As small as he was, going to school, I don't know where he got the strength from, but he was able to push the door down and get in, and saw that my husband was actually on top of me with his construction boots, stamping on top of my belly and my chest so I can't breathe. Have a pillow, so he's tall, he have construction boots here, and the pillow on my face to end my life completely. My son, as young as he was, as I said, I don't know where he gained that strength from. I must say that he ran in and he started to fight and beat back. And in doing so, it caused him more trauma for us, because he started to treat my son, because it was not his child, it was my first husband child, so it wasn't his child, so he started to beat him. And to sadden to say this way, he put my son out. So it had taken an effect on him, because he of himself had nowhere to go. The people he thought that would have been his friends, or even my family, knowing that we are older now, did not even take him in, not even to sleep in the gallery. So he had to sleep on the parks, he had to sleep in the public library. It was very hard for me, because I didn't have a job, I didn't know what to do. My last son, even up to this day, even though he is older now, it still have an effect on him, that he studies this a lot, the way I have been through, the things I've been through, that even though he's of age now to have a partner, he's not able to give that fullness because he always don't want to see what happened to me happen in his life. I think the support that we need as women and those in domestic violence is to seek professional counseling and to seek help in every possible way we can. We seek help and we also get support. Look for places you can get support, help. There's places where you can go to get help. So look for that support, look for that backup, that you don't have to stay there and continue in a relationship that is abusive. From the minute that you observe the violent part is about to happen, that is a red flag. Get out. Get out and leave immediately. Look for help. Find ways to get help. Go to a shelter. Go to the station. Go wherever possible it is that you have to go. Seek help. Don't wait. Go to the police station. Go to the nearest authority. Let them know exactly what is happening. Don't stay silent at all. We don't have to settle for less. So we need to come out and get out of relationships and be mindful of who you are bringing into your lives. That is what I will say to Trinidad and Tobago.